good can be a trap. Nobody warns you about that. You spend your whole life following the rules, being responsible, showing up, keeping your promises. And then someone tells you that none of it matters, that a person who wrecked their entire life gets the same deal as you. That doesn't feel like good news. That feels like an insult. And that reaction right there is exactly what this episode is about. This is Storied Lives. We follow the hidden architecture of the world's most misunderstood story. Here's what you need to know, even if this is your first episode. Act 1, the world was made good. Humanity was made on purpose, designed, valued, named. Act 2, something broke. Not on the outside, on the inside. 4 relationships shattered all at once. Act 3, a champion came to fix what we never could. He passed every test we failed. Act 4, that's where we live, our chapter. And we bring chaos to it, not by being obviously evil, but by fighting the one thing the champion offers, grace. Before we can understand grace, we have to understand the system you already live inside. You know this system. You have known it since you were 5 years old. Work hard, get rewarded. Fail, get punished. Show up, get paid. Disappear, get left behind. We don't even call it a system anymore. We call it reality. And it works. In school, at work, in sports, in almost every area of life, this system is reliable. But it has one fatal flaw. When it meets grace, it completely breaks down. Grace doesn't negotiate with earning. It doesn't check your record. It doesn't review your attendance. It doesn't add up what you deserve and hand you a matching reward. For people who have been keeping score their whole lives, that is genuinely threatening. Let me tell you a story. A father has 2 sons. The younger one walks up and makes a request. But in the culture of that time, it wasn't really a request. Asking for your inheritance while your father is still alive was the same as saying, I wish you were already dead. The father gives him the money. The son takes it and disappears, spends every coin, ends up broke, alone, sitting in a field feeding pigs. In that culture, that was the lowest point a person could go. Something in him shifts. He decides to go home, not for forgiveness, just for a job. He has a whole speech prepared. He rehearses it the whole way back. Make me like one of your hired workers. His plan is to earn his way home. He never gets to finish the speech because the father is already running, not walking, running, arms wide open, no questions, no conditions, no probation, a robe, a ring, a party. The son came back with nothing and the father gave him everything. Now, meet the older brother. He has been in the field all day. He's always in the field. He has never missed a day, never broken a rule, never embarrassed the family. He is the good one. When he hears the music coming out of the house, he stops, asks the servant what is happening, and when he gets the answer, he refuses to go inside. His father comes out to find him, and the older son says something that sounds completely fair. I have been here my whole life. I have never let you down. You never threw me a party. On the surface, that sounds reasonable. But listen to what is underneath those words. He's not talking about love. He's talking about a ledger. He has been keeping score for years. He believed his faithfulness had purchased something, and now someone who earned nothing just received everything. He doesn't see it as generosity. He sees it as a debt unpaid. He stays outside, in the dark, arms crossed. Too righteous to go to the party. There's a name for what the elder son has. Elder-Brotheritis. It is the condition of being so committed to earning, so convinced that faithfulness builds a debt, that you will end up standing outside the celebration, arms crossed, furious that grace exists at all. And here's the uncomfortable part. Most people who hear this story assume that they are the younger brother, broken, starting over. But most of us are actually the older brother. We have been keeping score, quietly, carefully. We just haven't admitted it. There's a second story. Same truth, different angle. And this one hits harder. A religious leader, respected, educated, morally careful, invites Jesus to his house for dinner. During the meal, a woman walks in. The whole city knows her, a woman who was a sinner. She is not supposed to be there. She kneels at the feet of Jesus, and she weeps. She uses her own tears to wash his feet, her own hair to wipe them dry. She doesn't say a word. She doesn't have to. The religious leader, his name is Simon, watches this and has one immediate thought. If this man were a real prophet, he would know what kind of woman is touching him. Simon is disgusted, not just by her, by the fact that Jesus isn't. Jesus turns to Simon and says, "Do you see this woman? Not what she's done, not what people say about her. Do you actually see her?" So Jesus tells Simon a quick story right there at the table. Two people owe a debt. One owes a little. One owes a lot. A lender cancels both debts completely. Which one loves the lender more? Simon answers correctly. And then Jesus says the line that changes everything. The one who is forgiven little loves little. Simon spent his whole life being careful, moral, upright. Jesus wasn't saying Simon was wrong for that. He was saying Simon had no idea how much he needed to be forgiven. The woman with nothing understood grace immediately. The man with everything had no idea he was starving for it. Here is the pattern hiding inside both stories. The younger son, the sinful woman, they came in broken. They recognized the gift. The elder brother, Simon, they came in good. They stood outside, calculating, convinced their record entitled them to more than what grace was offering. The broken people walked through the door. The righteous ones stood in the dark. You're probably asking, is that fair? That is the wrong question. Fair is what happens in a courtroom. Grace is what happens in a family. A courtroom weighs your record, measures your performance, calculates what you deserve. A father runs down the road the moment he sees you coming. These are not the same system. The world trained you to think in courtrooms, but this story was always set in a home. In a home, the question isn't, did I earn this? The question is, do I believe I'm loved? That is the only shift grace requires. Not a longer list, not a better record, not more effort, just the willingness to stop counting and walk through the door. Here is where we have been this whole series. Episode 1, you were made very good, on purpose, valued. Episode 2, something broke, 4 relationships all at once. Episode 3, a champion came and passed every test you failed. Episode 4, you keep reaching for substitutes that end up consuming you. Episode 5, the rescue is real. The door is open, and we are standing in the field, arms crossed, waiting until we feel like we deserve a party that was never about deserving it. Grace does not reward the righteous. It resurrects the shattered. And the only people who receive it are the ones who want it and reach out for it. You walked into this video as one of two people. The elder brother, faithful, tired, quietly keeping score, wondering why everyone else seems to get breaks they haven't earned. Or the younger son, carrying the weight of choices you can't undo, rehearsing the speech you'll give when you finally feel ready to come home. Either way, the Father is already at the window. He is not reading your record. He is not waiting for the invoice. He is not calculating the years. He saw you coming down the road, and he ran. He didn't wander into a story that needed your performance. You came into a family that was already calling your name. The door was open the whole time. All you have to do is walk through it and join the party.